Hi everyone, so in today's video I'll be trying out this Spellbinders Gingerbread Boy and Girl from the Felt Stitch and Create collection. I think that's what it's called, by Nicole Spohr, that they just brought to their site for November. They did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. Any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items to those links, so thank you for using those if you would like. What I'm going to do is talk a little bit more about these. I know I showed them in the initial unboxing of the collection. I know right now, at least on Spellbinder's site, the reindeer is sold out, so I will get to him, but probably not the next thing I'm going to show you guys. But super cute. I have the little fox also to try out for you guys. So yeah, I think that's all I have. I thought I had 4 things. There might be something else in there I'm forgetting right now, but anyhow, I already did the tutorial on the candy cane. Very simple. With this little guy, in my mind, I think if I can find it, I might put a little stuffing in him. Now you can use cotton balls, honestly, if that's something you have laying around. I do have quilt batting, stuffing kind of stuff, pillow stuff. I'm just looking because it's usually right here and I don't see it, so I might have to look for it somewhere else. But if I find it, I will do that. If not, we won't do it. It's fine. Just to make it a little more puffy, right? I am going to use some felt that I have in my stash, but Spellbinders just came out with some really nice merino wool felt, which is gorgeous. Beautiful colors curated by Spellbinders there. I'll try and link that in the description box for you guys too. Oh, I guess I should say, did I already say that? Anyway, I'll have affiliate links in the description box, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items to those links, in case I didn't already say that. So thanks for using those if you would like to, guys. Yeah, so you basically have the front and the back of your gingerbread person, right? So it can be a boy, girl, it can be whatever you want, right? So we have this little guy, and then the background piece. This is the front because it has the mouth, right? Unless you want to make it double-sided. So this one has a little mouth. You also have little eyes. You can make eyes from French knots, however you want to do the eyes. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't really looked at this to be honest, if this is the eyes or these are the eyes. Maybe you can mix these two together. However you want to do that. But I do want to talk about this a little bit because it does have a Santa Claus hat. So you have your little red hat, you have the little white areas, a little puff here or trim, and then a little puff here. You have this guy that goes to this guy that is a bow. So if you want to make a little girl, maybe she has a little bow. Maybe she has a little bow with tails. Do you see how he has these two holes? These 2 holes, that's how you're going to stitch those together. Maybe not for her head because I feel like it's going to get in the way, but I would probably just go with this bow. You can place it there. And then you also have this little guy can go on top of that. So it has a little button in the center. So hopefully you can see they're all lined up and they all work with those 2 little holes, okay? Having said that, you have, okay, so you can do ×2 because this can also be for that guy. This can also be for the hair bow. You have the smaller button, which I actually believe is the one that goes there, but the spacing is the same is all I'm trying to say on those little holes. You have this guy that's a star shape button. It says ×2, and the little heart that says ×2, right? So you want 2 of them. This piece right here, you might think, what is this? We'll cut the holes you want for that. So let's say you do want to use buttons or whatever, because I mean that's typical. You'd put it on your felt like that. Obviously this is turned around also. Tape that down, run it through, and it's going to make the holes that you need to put these guys into, okay? And it's spaced out the same for all of them. So hopefully that gives you some info, okay? For that. I think we're going to use them today, but I just want to make sure you know that all of them will fit that. You have your little white icing. This is not stitched on. If anything, you're going to glue that down, but I suppose if you want to stitch it on, you can, but obviously you're going to cut 4 of them if you want the icing on the little arms and legs. This little guy right here, you can cut into this as you're cutting. Probably just on the front. I don't think you're going to want it on the back. It makes a little design. So it's just a little collar, something cute if you want to do that, and then stitch it up, and it has a cute little, maybe a floral design or just a little design. So something to think about if you want to do a little more stitching. This guy, again, can be just in my opinion, these guys look like little cookies, but you can do whatever you want with them. It can be a decoration for his little front. He can be holding it, or she. Same thing with a little tree. You have this cute tree, and then the little inlay. Again, it could just be an accessory piece, or it can be if they have a little sweater or something cute. However you want to use those. So I am going to use, like I said, some felt I have in my stash. I actually have it right next to me. I just pulled this out. And this is a little bit softer felt, which I'm not a huge fan of the softer felt for when you have a lot of little holes. But we're going to try it, and maybe we'll regret it, but I think we're going to be okay. So I have this one. I think I'm going to use this brown color for the ginger. And I think I'm just gonna make a red bow. So I don't know if I'll use the red from here because this one's really like a burgundy red. I might grab red from somewhere else in my other stash. Have lots of stuff like that. And then that'll be the bow and then like the buttons or whatever. We'll talk about the eyes and things when we get there, and then obviously white for this. But for right now, put these things to the side. We need both of these. So I need to run this through. Again, I do like stiff felt for this kind of project. It looks like the felt that they have on the site is a little bit stiffer, but you know, I don't have it in front of me to feel it. And so I don't have that info for you guys right now. But we're going to run this through. I'm going to try to run this through my Spellbinders machine because why not? Let's see if it'll cut felt real well. There's a sticker on here. I can see that from the back side. Ooh. Take that off there. So I'm going to run this guy through and then we'll run the other one through. We're going to need, what's it called? Some thread, obviously. I'm going to use embroidery floss. And what else? A needle. And I think that's it. So this is the background one, so the one in the back. So I'm just going to run through. I don't need to put any of these other button holes or anything like that through that. Let's see how well this cuts through. If it's not that well, I might add like another piece of, what's it called? Like pressure, but that sounds good already. And I'm going to run it right back through. There are a ton of little holes. And we'll see how we did. Ooh, I was going to say it looks pretty good because I can see a bunch of little dots over here. Okay, guys. And normally I run this through a machine that would have like a metal shim because I think that's the best way to do it. But I mean, it cut really well. Have a little something. This happens especially when you pull it the way I pulled it. So maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to pop it out and give it a little, oh, get better scissors. There we go. Okay, not bad. So for the second one, I'll bring this over. We're going to run this. I'll try to spare some of this, maybe that way, so I can save this piece for something else. And then this little guy, you're going to want to pop that in. You can do it all at once, you can do it later, you know, wherever you think. Basically down the center here. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape. I might regret that because you saw how tape sticks to the felt, but I'm still going to put a little piece of tape and run that through. And then we're going to start. We also need to cut maybe some of our little accent pieces because you're going to want to decorate the front or whatever before you put it together. Again, I did one, so I'm going to go back. And then I'm going to grab some red felt, guys. Okay, that looks good. See, that's what I was saying. That's the dangerous part. You don't actually have to put tape, honestly. When you go to run it through, it's not really going to move, especially because this is like soft, you know. Okay, I'm going to take this off. And as I go through, if I don't see that it cut super well, what I can do is, instead of pulling it like I did that first time, just give it a little snip. So just come down in here. You might have some little hairs, little fibers that are holding on. Just kind of give it a little snip as you go around. Because if you pull it, it will fall apart. So just something to think about. So these little delicate holes. Now I'm going to do a running stitch, kind of like I did on the candy cane. Do I have the candy cane here? I think my daughter took it. Yeah, I think Miranda has it. You can also do a little whip stitch around. I'm assuming you can probably do a blanket stitch with these holes. You know, there's just holes that are one next to each other. But if you want to whip around, you can go around and around and around, and that's a really cute look too. I was debating if I want to do that or not. Maybe we do. Now that I think about it. Maybe we will. It's a different kind of way of putting it together. Okay, so I'm going to go around and just snip away any little strands that are still holding on. I don't need the white pieces right now, but I do want the red pieces. So I'm going to use the little hearts and our little bow with a little center piece, I guess. So again, I need to run that one through twice, once and once. Okay, then I'll be right back. Checking back. Even though I don't need the white pieces right now, I might as well run them through. That way I only crank this out a couple times instead of 4 separate times, right? So I'll get myself a little bit of that going, and I'll be back. I have never tried running felt through this because, like I said, I always just use a machine that has a metal shim, but like, I mean, the pressure, the ×2 was even there. I know it's going away right now, but like, that's really good. This is like perfect. And this is a stiffer felt that I'm using at this point. The other one was a little fluffier. Okay, I'll be back. So these are all the pieces I'll need. Now, if you want to put the bow on the head in a way that the back shows through too, you can do 2 pieces and sew them together at the same time. I think I'm just going to stick mine on. So I don't have another back piece, you know, it's just the one piece. And I have some thread on here from the last project that has like a variegated red thread, so I thought that's cute. So what I'm going to do here is just do a simple little stitch up the side here or in each of these little areas. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so just this little bit here. So I mean, I'm going to sew this down later, but if you want to start off with the knot, see? I'm like, if you want to start off with a knot, and I just go right past the thing. A little bit of it might be showing in the back, so you want to keep it neat. But for now, I'll just have that there. And I'll go in this first hole, come out of the next one. And I didn't start in the center here because, to be honest, this is going to cover it anyway, so you're not really going to see that. And then I'm going to go back down the one that was already there. Oops, sorry. Let me bring this down. Okay. So we have like a little straight stitch here. Now I can go over to this next one, but again, do you want to keep it nice and neat? You probably want to, you know, come back out here or go down to this other one. Whatever it is that makes it look neater. I think I'm going to bring it down here. Go in that one, into the next one, and then back through the hole that we came from. So you have that little stitch, right? Okay. And I'm just going to kind of go across to the next one. So I'll do the same thing on this one, the same thing on this one, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished those. Now I'm down here. I can come up this one here. Now this little button is a little bit different because it has the 4 holes where the other one only has 2. So, you know, you can do whatever you think. But I'm going to bring this one here. And then go into the one right down, straight down from it. Go into that hole. And these other 2, now this is a needle I can go through the felt like right through into that next hole, and that's probably what I'm going to do. Again, this is just, it's not really like we're going to use this button, you know, so it's just decorative. So I'm just going to go through that, and there's my little bow that we're going to pop up here later, so I'm going to finish it off in the back. Sorry if I'm too close now, I feel like I'm too close. Let's go back up. Just a little knot, and when I hot glue this on, I'm going to glue it in a way that, you know, a lot of this bulk will be kind of hidden away, like in there, you know? Okay. But you could have done 2 together. You could put it together after these guys are already sewn together. You have one side, the other side, and then hold it together and stitch it together, okay? So it'll kind of look nice on both sides. So with this guy, I'm going to go ahead and put a knot, but I don't know that the knots are really going to help. We are going to sew on our buttons. Again, just come up from the back. Grab the top buttonhole. Go down this one. Paying attention. So cute. I might do this twice just so it's nice and sturdy. Oh, I caught my own end there. Just go back through there. So 2 times. And then I'll do the same thing with the next little button. Just come up through here, add my button, and loop it through twice, okay? Just like I did. Okay, so I have it there. And, you know, we're going to stitch up the little mouth, so, I mean, if you want to do that in white, like if you would normally use white icing, or whatever it is that you want to do, let's do that. So I'm just going to tie this off back here. I'm holding it so I'm not pulling too hard the front there. So cute already. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me think about what I want to do for the face, if I want to do white or black thread. I think I'm going to use black thread, but to be honest, when I make gingerbread, I just use white icing for everything. So you know, stick on your little red candies with white icing. But so it's whatever you like. I'm gonna take this. That first thread I used, I didn't separate because I just didn't. It's a different kind of thread. It has like a cording look to it. I don't know if you can tell, like on this one. Oopsie. It has like a different look to it, so you don't really want to separate that. But this one, I think I will separate it. So this is, again, embroidery floss. I'm going to do 3 and 3. But you can leave it nice and thick if that's what you want. And I'm not doing too much because honestly I don't need that much for this project. I will say the little dots I showed you earlier that I thought maybe eyes or however, they're basically meant to be cheeks, the ovals. So I think on mine maybe I'll just get a little makeup, a little actual blush and make it blush. But this one is supposed to be little cheeks. And then you have those little dots. Again, can be eyeballs. Oh, you know what I should have done first? I should have done the eyes. I'm so silly. Because I'm taking this apart and I would like it to be one big thing. That's okay. Alright, are we almost done? Ay. Let's see. I'm going to cut that piece off. Just at the end there. Get this threaded up and I'll be right back. Okay. So again, we can put a knot if you like. Or just hold it carefully. But basically a knot would be good. And same thing with the... Not really a running stitch, because a running stitch would leave a gap like here, right? And actually I could probably just do it all at once. Go like this, go like this, go like this. In and out. There's one more little hole right here. And that's basically a running stitch, but we're going to come back and fill it in. Otherwise it's going to look more voodoo dollish than anything. That's a little scary looking, right? So now I'm going to go back in here. And honestly I can probably do it all at once. Hold on. Yeah, it is back in here, up here. Down here, back up here, and in there. Again, don't pull too tight because you don't want that, but there you go. There's your little smile. A little crazy looking, but that's alright. Okay. So that's that. Okay. I'll probably try to make it look a little nicer, a little more rounded. But we'll take that off of there. Okay, and then we're going to have to go ahead and place our eyes. Like I said, I did separate it into 3 and 3. But if you did all 6 strands, it would look thicker pretty quick. And you know, you can kind of choose where you want your eyes to be. I'm going to put mine just inside the smile there. I'm going to hold that down. Okay, so we're going to do a French knot. But you can do whatever you like. So I'm going to hold it. Again, you have a die for this. I'm going to wrap it around 2 or 3 times. I want it to be kind of a good size. And then when I pull through, I'm not going to pull through too tight. So I'm holding it. You don't want to let that fall away or unravel. So I'm going to hold it pretty close and bring this in. And don't pull too tight. Okay? So again, hopefully I get this straight. Let's see, right across from the other one. About the same distance in. That right in there. Okay, I'm not pulling too tight because I don't want to pull this other one. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 times around and then again back down nearby. And pull that through. And again, not too tight. And those are my eyeballs, guys. Cute, right? They're little French knot eyes. I'm going to pull this one a little bit more. There. Okay, and I'll tie it off in the back. And anything else that you're going to decorate on the front, you know, that needs to be stitched, obviously you go ahead and stitch it up right now and get that going. The cheeks or whatever else you might want to do. That looks pretty good. And then we have this guy. So basically I'm going to flip this over. We're going to sew these guys together. If you wanted to sew this on, again, if you want the 2 layers, I'm just going to glue it on the top like that when I'm done. So I want some brown thread. So let me get that going. And again, you can split it. Honestly, I think I'm going to keep it just all together. I have this really pretty gingery kind of brown, that I think will accent really nicely. It's cute, right? I mean, I can go with more of a tan color if I wanted, but again, I'm going to pull out as much as I would like for this one because we are going to go around quite a bit. And let me see what it looks like if I were to just do kind of a whip stitch or whatever. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember, guys. Put a knot on the other end. Okay, so trying to think, because I want to put some stuffing in it. If you want it to be fluffy, because you know, you can cut out another one of these shapes and then maybe just cut around. Like let's say this is an extra one. I would cut all this away and then just pop this in between, or a couple layers, you know, so it gets thick that way. What I'm going to do is whip stitch. I'm trying to think. Just leave it open like here maybe. Okay, so maybe I'll start here. And of course you want everything lined up. And since I'm just going to start in a random spot, I would start under her bow because I'm going to put glue there anyway, but it'd be harder to stuff the body if I did that, so I just want a good opening here. So I'm just going to start like here, but I'm going to bring in between the layers, okay? So in between the layers, so that when I pull this through, again, I didn't separate this time, but if you want to separate it for a more nuanced look, you can definitely do that. Oh, that's funny. I made another knot. I just want the one knot, guys. Come on. Are we just going to do it? Alright, we're just going to go for it. I'm just going to tie that up. It was not going to come apart for me. Okay, so that's going to be tucked in there. And of course, you're everything lined up. Now, I would have just glued these two together a little bit on the inside to help me with that. And if you're going to, you know, do like I had mentioned, let me back up a little bit. Where you just put like another piece of felt in there, I would put a little hot glue in between the layers just to hold it together for you guys, like initially. So I'm gonna go into the next one. Okay, so I just came out of this hole, but I'm gonna go into the next set, and I'm going to go from the outside. You saw I just came out the top, so I'm gonna go around and do a little whip stitchy. If you don't like the look of that, you know, you can do the running stitch. You're gonna go around, and you're gonna go around again, like I showed you on the candy cane. And I'm just going to keep following, going around the outside. You see? This one is really giving me some work today. Alright. And of course, you want to pull it, but not super tight, but you know, so it all looks nice and arranged. And just keep following the little holes around the outside edge. It just has a different look. I'm getting really annoyed by this string today. What is going on? Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, I like to pull like a yard out, so maybe don't do that. But once you get going, it'll get better. But I wanted to show you kind of what this looks like, so let me do a few more with you guys if you have the patience. Oh my goodness. Oh, of course, emergency vehicle passes through. Typical. Okay, there we go. And here. If I was sitting down, I would pull this slower, you know, if I was sitting and watching TV. Which, by the way, I've been watching the Hallmark Channel like it's my job. Oh my goodness. Just the most mind-numbing stuff. Anyhow, let's put this here. Okay, and I'm just going to keep going around, and as you can see, it just makes this cute little stitch. Now again, you can do a running stitch, and then, you know. But I'll be back just to kind of update you guys. I'm also going to put these dies away just because I feel like I need to put them away. So I will be back. I'm just going to keep going around. And I'm basically going to stop like here. So I think that's when I come back, I'll show you what that looks like so we can stuff it. Guys, as I come around, if you wanted to add in like a little something, a little string or whatever it is to hang it, you can definitely add that in here and then just keep, you know, sewing around it, maybe even glue it in. I think I'm going to add it at the end, if I add it at all, because this can be an ornament. It could just be, you know, a cute little home decor piece. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to mention that as I'm coming around. You would want to pop that in there, but everything's going real easy. And then, you know, I didn't pop the holes out because it's kind of tricky sometimes with felt. Like, I don't want to just sit here and pick them out. So I just kept going, right? So if I can see on the back where the hole was, or from the front, that just pushed it out as I'm working. And that works just fine. So I'm going to do a little bit more, but we're going to start stuffing it when I get to, like, here. Actually, maybe now. Maybe do a few more stitches, and then we're going to put some cotton balls in here. So I have this whole area open, and actually I just got some cotton balls. I had to go CVS anyway. As you can see, it's a different day. My sleeves are different. Because I just want to show you, you can use something like this. It doesn't have to be quilt or, you know, like stuffing stuff. I forget what it's called. Batting is that flat kind, but you can use batting too, because like I said, you can cut into it just like you did this. But I'm just going to kind of pull these guys apart, and these are just cotton balls, guys. And I was actually going to grab some chopsticks, but whatever tool you have that helps you kind of push into these little areas. And I wouldn't stuff them too much, because obviously there's not a huge area in here, but just to whatever you think looks good and is cute. Like that's pretty cute. And then I'll unfluff another one. Do you guys remember a long time ago making ornaments of like a little walnut, and you would put little stuffing like this, and you would put like a little piece of fabric so it looks like a little bed, and it would be like a little mouse in the little walnut like sleeping, and it was like an ornament? I don't know. I remember that. Let's see. I think my mom still has some ornaments that look like that. Okay, so that's good. Like, again, I mean, this is just a couple of large cotton balls here. And push that into the little head. So cute. And then, of course, you're going to want to have some in the little arm here. So, you know, that looks good. Feels pretty good. I might have to put a little bit more in this little arm. But as you're going along, you can kind of get that taken care of, right? So something like that. I think that's pretty good. Okay. And hopefully you saw everything I was doing, because I know I'm very up close now. And then again, just keep following your little holes. And keep sewing it up. I will say felt is very fragile. Even though it's a fabric, it'll fall apart pretty easy. So if I pull on this, it will definitely pull away, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to go very carefully as I go along and just kind of hold it. Because you can put some little clippies if you have clippies to help you. But yeah, just keep holding it nicely, making sure everything's tucked in. Like there's a little hole right here, so there's one right here. And then there's another one right here. See right here, there's a little bit of tension, and I can see the felt is wanting to pull apart. So again, just be careful. Okay, and hopefully you can see what I'm talking about, like right here. Felt is wanting to pull away, which is not great. So just take your time, and I will be right back. Just going around and around. Okay guys, I'm down to my very last little stitch here. And again, I did it this way because when you're stuffing it, it's, you know, easier. So now we have this one, and I can either go around back to where I was, kind of sew it in here, and you're going to want to try to get that thread buried in there, so it's basically going to tie off that way. I mean, there's different ways of finishing this off, but that's how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to go back in here. Okay, and it came out over here. And maybe, you know, you try to catch it and go back in a different direction or whatever, but you're really trying to bury that so it doesn't undo later. I'm going to pull it back this way. So that looks okay. All right. And pull this little guy and let that get buried back inside. So that is the back side of our little guy. He is very cute, or she, I guess, because we're going to make this into like a little girl. And again, I'm basically going to glue that on. So, I mean, underneath there, I can also glue a little something to hold it, you know, or you can just, if you're using a metal hook, I would just put it through the threads and, you know what I'm saying, just kind of catch it in here. So it's up to you. I mean, you can also put another one in the back if you want to do it that way. So maybe we'll do that. So what I'm going to show you here is just take this, go around the back, and I'm just going to tie that off. Now, I was going to use hot glue, but to be honest, Beacon 3-in-1 glue works really, really well, and you don't have to heat up anything up and possibly burn your fingers. So, you know, that's something to think about. But there you go. There's a little something to help you hook that on. So I think I will use some Beacon 3-in-1. And you guys, that's pretty much it. So get this guy going. That's one thing. Whatever you think is cute. cute. I think that looks very cute right there. And these guys, I'm going to do the same thing for each one of them. So just basically put some glue on here. I put a ton of glue under the bow, so I know that's going to hold. But this guy, I'm going to put just a little bit, kind of a thinner amount of glue, and hold that on. So I'm going to do that in all 4 extremities, and I'll be right back. Okay, Beacons just holds on so quickly. Like, honestly, I just barely put the glue and look at, I mean, it's even following the curve and everything. So that's my little gal, guys. Again, you have all kinds of different ways to decorate them. You know, this is just one of the ways to do it. The stitching, you know, with the whip stitching around, it has a different look than if you were to do a running stitch around. So whatever you like to do, it'll be very, very cute. So thanks for watching, guys. I will have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box for the US and the UK, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.